Hey, I'm Tom,
And I'm Josh.
and this is the Blockcast.
We're Lego fans. Click.
Is that a Lego present?
It is.
So that must mean we're in the holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays! Now, we are here. We are excited to talk all about January. But before we do, we wanted to do a big shout out because normally our episodes do, we get like 5 or 6 views here, which is pretty good for us compared to when we started not too long ago. But most recently, YouTube decided to say, hey, those guys over at the Blockcast are doing something, going somewhere. Let's go ahead and help them out. So our most recent episode, if you haven't watched it, go back, get over there. It's really cool. Um, we got about 1,200 views on our last episode, and a lot of you are here because of it. So welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for coming back.
Particularly for an episode about retirement. So we left off with the sets that are going away at the end of this year, which is coming up very, very soon. That's one thing that the holidays mean. It means the year's almost over. We can start all over again. But it also means that January 1st is just around the corner, and all Lego fans may know, and those of you that are Lego fans that don't know, now you'll know. January 1st is a big release date for brand new Lego sets, which is what we're going to talk about today. But we don't want to get ahead of ourselves. There's some year-end business here that we want to talk about. Another tradition that's very popular around the holidays is Lego Masters.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about Lego Masters in the past. We've talked about how there's unique challenges and kind of a little bit about the format of the show. But a couple of years ago, they started with the Lego Masters Celebrity Holiday Bricktacular, I believe is the proper nomenclature. And what it is they bring back past contestants of Lego Masters. They pair them with a celebrity who is also a fan of Lego, and they do unique holiday themed challenges. And they're playing this time for charity and for the very special Lego Masters Celebrity Holiday Bricktacular trophy.
And it's always enjoyable because compared to regular Lego Masters, it's a shortened season. I believe it's 2, 3 episodes max.
4 episodes this
Four,
year.
four
I think
episodes this year.
I think maybe
And
in the past it was a little bit shorter, but it's very short form. So it's very quick. So if you don't have a lot of time, everyone's busy around the holidays. But there's some time that you can carve aside for some festive Lego fun.
definitely check it out. It is something fun. Josh and I have watched. I believe they released the first 2 episodes
Mm-hmm.
um, to get us, into it and excited about it. So we got 2 left to go. So I can't wait to see what happens. But it's always fun because by the beginning you get all the celebrities that are like, "Oh, I don't really know anything about Lego," and then by the end they're like, "This is so much fun. This is great."
They really get into it. I don't know how it works, how they do the pairing. Um, Maybe as a little bit of a tease for next year, we may have some special guest stars who could give us a little bit more insight into how all of this comes down. But that's something to look forward to in the new year. All that I know is that for those 4 episodes, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of the same zany humor from the Lego Masters regular season, but with Christmas everywhere, which always makes everything better.
Exactly. And I can't wait to see who wins. And that must mean Lego Masters is around the corner because unlike years past, it didn't start in the fall this year. I believe the next season's going to be coming, hopefully, spring.
Hopefully, I haven't
Hopefully.
heard any updates on it. I keep my ear to the ground because I miss my yearly dose of Lego mastering.
Correct. So, with that, talking about Lego, as this podcast always and shall will be doing things,
It
hard
works.
words sometimes. We wanted to talk about and get you prepared for this upcoming year. We talked about retirement. Now it's time for birth and new ideas and things that are coming to Lego. So let me go ahead, share my screen with you, and we will get going.
Make sure to save that holiday money because you're going to need it.
Really. Our first set that we're going to be talking about today is different, as I'd like to say.
Different's a good word.
Definitely different. Um, so I don't know if anybody else has noticed, but Lego has been leaning in a direction towards anything with wheels. And don't get me wrong, it's a huge market. Look at Hot Wheels and Matchbox. That makes perfect sense. It's something that moves, it's functional, it's visually appealing. They're doing a whole partnership with F1 that we're going to see a lot more influx of cars. One of their highest grossing lines are all the independent cars that they release that a lot of people like to collect and modify. Huh?
The speed champions.
Exactly. So I think this is in conjunction with that, getting those that like. For me, I like the characterization of certain things, not so much. Oh, I have, I'm gonna get a copy of a Mercedes vehicle in Lego form, but I would like a vehicle made out of pizza. And I think this is what this is going to curtail to. So you have pizza versus fire, a race car pack. This is exactly what it looks like. It is literally as someone who makes pizzas versus somebody who fights fires. It is a $9.99 retail pack, which is very affordable, especially for two. It comes with 70 pieces. If you're interested, set number is 60458. I do like the detail that they put in the pizza. It even has a crust and dripping cheese. Let me run through these a little bit so you can see some of the visuals on this. Uh, I think these are fun. And there's a couple more that we're going to go through. And Josh will show you the next one. I am a big fan of pizza. He's carrying a pizza box. I don't know if we're going to get some type of Mario Kart action where he throws pizza box like we saw in Lego Island with Pepper, where he would throw pizzas at the I can't remember the name of the villain in him, but you would throw pizzas at him at the. It was a part of it. It was a good time. You chase him up the mountain and throw pizzas at him. But they did not just decide, oh, we're just going to do pizza versus fire truck. We're going to do other things.
So, airplane versus hospital bed is the natural progression within this series. Or, like I like to say, Harrison Ford.
Ooh! Ooh! All right,
No.
he took it there. If you're unfamiliar with what he's talking about, just Google Indiana Jones. You'll understand.
But this again shows off the same detail. We see an IV drip with the hospital bed. The pilot of the airplane has a little compass, so they can always stay on track. But it's just fun. It's silly. It captures the humor that Lego was known for.
Well, that's
Is that
interesting. Look, when he gets out, he has a little a headband,
this poor guy?
and he has to race now. He's forced to race. But don't think they stop there. Oh no, they've taken this line even further. Now remember, this is $9.99 for just about the same amount of pieces. 70 pieces, again, exactly 70 pieces. I've never seen these wheels before. Set 60459. But let's look at this. Look at it, how the price point changes.
Boom.
$50 for the No Limits racetrack ramp track. Don't get me wrong, if this was like a 90s to early 2000s set, there would be way less detail than what this has. And if you think this doesn't have a lot of detail, there's detail here. Look at the signage, look at the little spider underneath the thing.
I like the selfie stick personally.
Oh, there is a selfie stick. I didn't even notice that. The thing
But
is, go ahead, I'm sorry.
it's a toilet versus a hot dog.
Okay, now remember, we saw the first two sets. They were 70 pieces each. So that means just this and this should be $10. The ramp is costing you $40.
It's a couple extra minifigs there, some interesting pieces, but they do look like they're stickers, not printed bricks. So take with that what you will. Track pieces tend to be a little bit more, so I can see a little bit of an inflated price for those. But it is a little bit of a jump up uh, in regards to this series, at least from what we see in those first two sets. But again, it could be fun. It's a way that you can race them, maybe play some side by side and see which one's going to win. The race. It gives you that ability. It actually looks like, is there a little launch
Yeah, it looks
mechanism?
like there's a little bumper mechanism.
Okay, so we got some maybe technical elements too, that could come into play with this and make it fun.
The only
Um,
thing that I want to mention here is that I do like the different creative modes, like being in a toilet, or being a hot dog, or a pizza. And you could expand this into a lot of different things. But I am a
where's
huge.
versus donut?
What?
Where's the police car versus donut? That seems like another great pairing, right? No,
I think so. It would, yeah, I could see that. That would be that, yeah. One thing I want to talk about. All right, breathe. I want to talk about a little bit about minifigs, the collector series. We're not there yet, but the one thing that I've thought of when it comes to these, I think they're very fun. I think they're unique. Everybody will have their favorite depending on what they like. I would have released the individual cars as a mystery bag. What do you think?
I could see that. I could
A
see
series of 15, and then you could have like two or three series of them, and then you would have a whole bunch of different ones.
that could be a unique thing. I think that the challenge with that is, compared to the current uh, blind packs and things like that, the piece count would be much higher with 35, but not out of range of what a typical poly bag would be. And I think it would be fun if it was an entire series like that, and kind of encourage people to kind of collect and build erasers. And um, I don't think it's a bad idea at all.
So, those are your racers. We like them. Maybe not the accessories so much, but the cars themselves. I would love to see the most comical one. In the comments below, if you had to choose a pair or create your own pair, what would you choose? Let us know. I'd like to know your answers.
Honestly, I'm kind of enthralled with this plunger.
Did you notice the gloves?
Mhm.
They're orange. Didn't know. They give them orange hands. All right, we're headed on to the next one. Otherwise, we'll be here all day. We are going to the City Scrappers. Yes, this is a city set. The reason I want to bring this up, and the reason I talked to Josh about this, you have a scrapyard. Yes, it's a lot of fun, but you have to think about the playability and the age range. Yes, it might not necessarily be for everyone, but think about it if you're like that 9 to 13 range, right? And you're a fan of speed. Why do I always forget their name? The Speed Challenge?
Speed champions.
Speed Champions cars. Think about how interchangeable this is with them. This is really giving your cars access to do different things than just race around. It gives them more playability. It's more so a play set for that. And yes, you do have a car crusher, which is pretty cool. I found that really fun. But you also have interchangeability, so you can change out the bumpers, the wheels, the roof. And it's not just that. You can do whatever you want because it's Lego. I remember as a kid, you would buy these prepackaged Hot Wheels and Matchbox kits that said, "Oh, you can change out the wheels and whatnot." But after so many times, but with Lego, it's infinite. You can buy
Mhm.
any wheels from any sets and turn it into a monster truck if you wanted to. So I think this just gives a little bit more playability in terms of what you can do, and give it a little bit of shop and pull your car in and have the little minifigs work on the with a drill or a saw and cut pieces off and crush cars. And I think this is a fun one to add.
And I think
It's
it's kind of neat too. Early in one of our episodes, we talked about how Junkyard Wars was a show that we both enjoyed quite a lot. And to see, something that's similar in idea that with just using spare parts, random parts, how you can kind of customize, build, do something new. I'd love to see a larger scale junkyard set, but I think this is a great start to that, and kind of the chop shop idea um, is really a neat direction to go with all of the different car sets that have been coming out in the past couple of years.
I completely agree. Just so you have more information, it is Scrapyard with cars. They're pricing it at $80. It's going to be 871 pieces, set number 60472. Some unique wheels on that one as well. The next one we want to talk about, Hagrid and Harry's motorcycle ride.
This one stands out as unique. In the Harry Potter series through Lego, there have been different models of certain animals. We've seen brick built version of Dobby or Fox the Phoenix or Buckbeak and different things like that. We've seen the large fig Harry and Hermione, but this is the first that we're getting a mid-size brick built character scene with some of the characters, and here it's reenacting the beginning of Deathly Hallows, the escape from Privet Drive. Here we see Hagrid is flying the motorbike with Harry in the passenger seat. Hedwig is still alive at this point. So, yay. Yay for that. You can maybe change that story up a little bit, because there's some neat functional playability here with this. It's not just simply a model to sit on the shelf. There's some articulation in the arms, it looks like, in the head, as well as with Hedwig herself and Harry. I think that it's a very unique set. I don't think we've seen anything like it, and it stands out amongst the other new Harry Potter releases. The rest of the series that's going to be debuting here in early January or beginning of January, they are all recreations or re-releases of things that we've seen before. And unlike what we would typically see with re-releases, the details aren't there. There's a new flying lesson that lacks some of the components of the previous one. We see another version of the night bus, things like that we've seen before in greater detail. So it seems like they may be, in terms of the main sets, play sets, running out of ideas. But something like this is completely unique. Kind of keeps the magic alive. I'd love to see maybe some other versions of these brick built characters, kind of detailing different scenes from the movies. Maybe like Harry flying on his broomstick would be another one in the future that would be a really cool kind of display piece, reaching out, catching the snitch or something like that. And for the price point, $50, no minifigs are included with this, but it's all brick built. So I think it's a pretty interesting and unique concept.
I think so too. It's the idea that you have a lot of fans that enjoy the universe of Harry Potter, that not only want, for children, this has good playability, but it also has good shelfability. It gives you that remembrance of what happened in those films in your favorite scenes. And for the price point of a Harry Potter set compared to what you would have like with Marvel and or Star Wars, it's $50 for 617 pieces, set number 76443.
It's
I
about
think
eight
it looks.
per
Hmm?
brick, and that's fantastic.
Yeah, and for this style of licensed set and the detail that they put into it, I think it's done really well. I like that they put so much detail that his coat does look a little bit raggedy, but as it should. It gives it life, it gives the figure meaning, and it looks like they're in action and they look like what they're supposed to. And that's fun in it. Yes,
And
they
again,
give the Hagrid does have modeled hands, but if you look at Harry's, their scale and size appropriate, and I love that. And I hope secretly that they sell this at Islands of Adventure over at Universal in the gift shop when you get off the motorbike adventure attraction. Because it would only make sense if they do. So, Universal, if you're listening, this would make a perfect Lego set to sell and accompany your attraction.
you were talking about building theme parks, Tom. Are you going to expand to Universal? uh, parks now with this one.
I think they have a good inventory of attractions that they could capitalize on. We've already seen it with Transformers. We see it with Harry Potter, but granted it's loose. But with this one, it's very close to the attraction. This would make perfect sense to put in the theme park. We've seen Disney put in Cinderella Castle, and we've also seen them put in the Main Street Station. And they sold it in store, and it will sell because they give you that remembrance. So when you get off the attraction, you say, "Oh, wow!" And now you love Lego. I think it's a perfect. It goes hand in hand. So I would love to see this at Universal. I think it would really do well. I'd also like to see how they could do different attractions because they're also coming out with Nintendo. So there's a Donkey Kong
Few.
cart um, set that's coming out that we're not covering, but do look it up. They're also releasing Epic Universe in May. I believe May 25th is their opening date. They can go hand in hand in that gift shop too, Universal. Just saying. Who doesn't want to buy Lego on their vacation? Just that. This, I think it's going to be fun. I think you're going to get a lot of people that are really interested in purchasing this. Now, we talked about minifigs, and I love the minifig mystery bag series. I could talk about this for days. Um, the most recent set before this was season set 26, which was the space theme. But in theory, in between that time frame, we also got the Dungeons and Dragons minifig set series or mystery series, and I got a lot of those, which I didn't anticipate. But you know, when you go to the airport in New Zealand and they're only $2.50 US, when they're $5 in New Zealand based on currency exchange, you might go nuts and add a lot of small friends to your already growing collection.
Wait, did you say New Zealand?
New Zealand and Australia. I might have traveled just a little bit in the meantime, which you will see in an upcoming episode, not recently, but sometime next year. You're going to get to see a little bit more of where my sig fig might have traveled.
Yay for the travel series.
The travel series. If you haven't watched already, we talk about travel all the time, and it continues going forward. So you'll get to hear a little bit about Australia and New Zealand, huh?
I said we know you haven't watched because it has 3 views.
Yeah, yeah. Here's a reminder. Please, not aggressively, but
No,
please,
pretty please.
please go watch our video.
It's a
Don't
holiday
make
gift
Josh cry
again.
again. We enjoy our travel series. It's a lot of fun. We get to bring our sig figs all over the world and meet all new little friends in all the Lego stores around the world. So be sure to check that out. We're going to have more episodes for next year. Yes, you're going to see us next year. They renewed us for a second season. Thank goodness. But let's talk about Series 27. All right, Josh, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Out of all these minifigs that you see here,
Hamster.
top three.
Hamster.
Oh, okay. Is that a kiwi or is that a lime or is it a cucumber slice?
I'm going to say cucumber slice.
All right, we need an official word. We need to ask somebody. We need to know. If you know what it is, put it down below. If you want to know what it is, we'll try to ask someone that created the set piece. Just to give you an update, when I went to when I tried to get the Dungeons and Dragons one, they came out at Walmart almost like a week early. So go now and see if you can find these at Walmart, because I bet you somebody puts them out on the shelf. So if you're watching this, get out.
You'll never see them again.
No, Josh. Josh, number two.
Number two is going to be the pterodactyl. I love the dinosaur costumes. I have the T-Rex and the Triceratops, so we have to add the pterodactyl. You know why it's dangerous to walk underneath a pterodactyl, right?
Why?
Their P is silent.
Oh. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up, not a thumbs down.
And then number three, it's hard because this is a great series, but I'm gonna have to go with Cupid. I enjoy Cupid.
Okay, that's different.
It's flying above the rest. I think Valentine's Day does not have a lot of, presence in terms of Lego sets or characters. So let's get Cupid on board.
Okay. My top three. Gonna go with Space Guy. Don't know why. Just the colors seem very appealing. I'm gonna go with steampunk guy. I just find his hat and just the way they've designed his clothing very appealing. Number three is hard. Don't get me wrong, I like the costumed ones. So it's a toss up between the pterodactyl and the monster on the left hand side. Have no idea, but I think the face is quite interesting, and I want to see how they put the either mask on or head on the figure, because I find that to be always fun to figure out if it's a head or a mask over the minifigure's head. But yeah,
Good
Series
choices.
27, Series 27 is still $5 a minifig. Be sure to get out there at the beginning because they always sell out at the beginning. Then you have to wait about a month and then they start to reload the stores again. Every figure is different. So this series set is called 71048. Either choose your minifigs with a scanner or be completely random. It's your choice. But let me know what you would have picked in the comments down below. Top three, or just one, whatever you want to choose. Let's move on, shall we?
Let's do it.
Do 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 do.
Uh,
Okay. All right. We had to talk about this. All right. To all of you that enjoy Marvel, know that Josh and I enjoy the MCU. I've watched all of it. And you're thinking, oh, he just watches the movie. No. The shows, the shorts, the YouTube clips, the extended trailers, trailer number 4 for Deadpool, all of it. Even the Netflix series like Iron Fist. Yes, I had to sit through that.
mm,
Um, love it. Have a passion for it. Like Lego. Then we have Marvel logo with minifigures. And I have questions. This set is called Marvel logo and minifigures. It is $100. It is coming out January 1st.
its
900,
titles.
931 pieces, set number 76313. Josh, you were saying.
The title is correct. It is the Marvel logo and minifigures.
If you remember, the best comparison I could talk to you about is, do you remember when Nintendo, and Josh, you can, when Nintendo released the question mark cube, you know, the one that Mario hits, and it had the expandable worlds of Super Mario that would fold out of the cube, and it was very detailed. And yes, it was kind of expensive, but it was actually super cool and functional, and also a good display.
I do remember.
I think that is the idea that they were going for with the Marvel logo because it is iconic at this point, right? You have to watch more than 30 movies, shows, what have you. $100 for 931 pieces. You get 5 minifigures. This is a box.
That's true.
Um, at the end of the day, what this is, it's a display piece. It really doesn't have playability. You could say, yes, it has playability because at the top, the figures will pop out from their hiding locations, which is fun. And don't get me wrong, the first couple times you do it is fun. Just as an example, let me go ahead and show it to you here so everyone can see what it functionally does. And that's it. Oh, it ended right. Here we go. So this is what it is. So it's the Marvel logo. If you take a look, I'm going to rewind it just a little bit, not to be obnoxious, but take a look at the detail in the Marvel white logo. They didn't just go with like lettering. They actually they built the
The font.
they built the font.
And
They
they did a
literally
good. It is. They recreated the font fantastically.
and they did a really good job doing that. And then you have the Marvel logo, and you see them highlighting the detail, and you push the button, and the minifigs pop out. And that's it. And then you put Iron Man back, and you put it on the shelf, and you walk away. In what I would have done differently, and if you take a look, Josh, we have the five figures. So we have Iron Man, we have Black Widow, Captain America, Thor, and is this Hulk or is this Bruce Banner? Because we have different in the canon Marvel universe. Hulk is the Maui and Hulk share the same body shape, where it's not a regular minifigure. So this must be Bruce Banner.
It's him
Correct?
turning into the Hulk. It's in that split second where he tells Cap that's his secret. He's always angry. He starts to shade green, and then when he turns around, boom, he's the Hulk. This is that split second in turning where Bruce Banner is green, turning into the Hulk.
Yep. So for me, it's the idea that if you are a large Marvel fan, and we are, this is a little bit expensive for not as much action that I would have liked out of a Marvel themed set like this in terms of a display. If I
Yeah.
was to do this, because it really doesn't have playability, I would have done more of like the Spider-Man art series, where I would have taken the Marvel logo, built it out of Lego, and then had a hangable sign on the wall and do it for 500 pieces for $50. Because the minifigs themselves aren't that really unique, I think, except for Bruce Banner.
Yeah, I would say the same. I think that there's more that could be done with this. I think it's going to appeal to some for like they have their Marvel display and they want to put just that this sign kind of right smack in the middle of it to kind of say, hey, in case you didn't know, boom, this is Marvel. I'm curious to know if they would do something similar with the Star Wars logo, in a similar kind of display. But really, when you look at some of the other Marvel sets, even releasing on January 1st, we are seeing the Civil War airport battle scene. Just that kind of snapshot of an action sequence where there's a lot of dynamic movement, even though nothing actually is moving, and it captures that element. Seeing the components here that the characters are attached to kind of takes away some of that dynamic energy that we see in a lot of the other Marvel sets, and it seems like an odd choice to me where they could have used clear pieces maybe to do the same effect, and maybe that even just that little change would have made this particular set as it is better. But it feels something feels off about it. It just doesn't. Other than the font, it doesn't have that clean feeling that a lot of other sets have. And to Tom's point, the Nintendo Cube is a great example of something that is a display piece. It's iconic just looking at it, and then things come out of it. Maybe from this, there's three sides that scenes could come out. Maybe we see components of like micro scenes of the three Avengers movies, even though there's four. I don't know. But something, it feels like it's lacking something.
Yeah. I think it's the idea that they were tasked with the idea, they said, you have $100. We want it to move. We want it to have minifigures, and we want it to say Marvel. Go. And I think if they got to do what they wanted to do, this set could easily cost $250.
And I think I would have liked to have seen that version. I probably would be more inclined to pay more for a more complete or clean looking Marvel logo build with hidden scenes.
I'd agree. Yeah. So we'll see what they come out with next and go from there. But at the end of the day, is this a cool logo? Yes. Is it
Mhm.
done really well? Yes. Is the technology there? Yeah. Um, just the price point for what it is just too high. That's all. All right, what do we got next? The last and final set that I really think is really dope. Josh, same?
Absolutely. This is my number one for 1-1. The Tudor corner is the newest addition to the modular series of icon sets. These are every year they are my favorite. I love them so much. Uh, I didn't start collecting at the beginning. My first one was the Plaza Palace Cinema. Yeah. But from then, I've collected them every year. The storytelling in these sets is phenomenal. The architecture, the different styles of builds. These are always a highlight for me. And this one in particular, um, no shade to last year's Natural History Museum, but I love it so much. It is such a cool build. Again, the architectural styles. Maybe it's because I went to London this year, and I saw architecture like this in person, and I can just imagine myself walking on this street corner in London, and there's a little pub, and in the same building there's a little shop, and you can go upstairs, and it's a whole nother thing altogether. We There's a chimney sweep, so like if you want to recreate Mary Poppins on the rooftops of London. I don't know. But everything about this is firing on all cylinders for me. I am super stoked. Really, I can't say enough things about it. There's so many little stories and elements, and cats. Oh, this is, save your Christmas money. This is the set to get.
Like, just the amount of cats in this set. Is that a fish? Why is the fish giant? Look at all the clocks. It even goes with the vacuum cleaner.
That
And they
mustache
put it
is
in a style
impressive.
rug. It's so big it goes around his neck.
He doesn't need a scarf.
More cats. These cats are very essential. Look, they have a pet bug. That's different. Hat shop.
Haberdashery, I believe it says on the front.
Haberdashery. Then you got that. I love that. There's so much playability. I wish they would show more close up of the.
You got to let some of it be a surprise. You don't want to ruin all of the great details and just looking at the photos. I like just the main image was enough to sell this one for me. I can't wait to start building and finding the little stories as I go. Look at that, bacon and eggs. I've That's a grill piece, but it's representing bacon here, and that's just fantastic. That is some great NPU. Nice parts usage.
Ah, this is great. Like, it's so aesthetically pleasing too. Like, they took the time and used the thin brickwork to then add molding to the top of the room. Well done. Well done.
So excited for this. And for those of you who may be listening on Spotify, of which we know that you're not, this is 229.99, releasing on January 4th. Very likely early access for Lego Insiders. We see there beginning on January 1st. This is 3,266 pieces, set number 10350, with 8 minifigs. It is going to be standing over a foot tall, about 11 inches wide and 10 inches deep, so it'll fit in along with all of the other modulars of the same series. This is going to be the set that people are lining up for on January 1st.
Yeah.
Maybe don't stay up till midnight the night before. If you stay up, just plan to go straight to your local Lego store, or online if you want to take that risk. I do believe that this one is going to sell very quickly.
That's incredible. Like, they even have the little bike with the stuff in the, like, this is nice. This is and from my perspective, don't get me wrong, I want this set as well, but I think when this is set to retire, yeah, I'm already talking retirement with this set. It's the idea that the modulars out of any other sets, they do really well when it comes to retirement. People still want these because it's the idea that model making is alive and well in the Lego community. And sometimes you just don't want to design your own building. And when it comes to something like this, where it's so detailed and you can easily change out pieces and parts for different stores and what have you, overall, I think if you were to even buy this, enjoy it for a couple years, keep all the pieces, and then decide to want to move on from it, I think you could probably get your full 229 back used in a couple years. This
Very
is great. This is highly detailed. This is exactly something wonderful. It's also the idea that you got to look at it and you got to be real as well. Is that it's the reason that they're releasing these 229 ones every year is you can't release 4 or 5 of these a year like this. It's the idea that people, you have to make it affordable as well. That if you're spending $1,000 on this, maybe next year you can't. So it's smart that they space it out and they make each one of these sets different, unique, and fun because that's what then adds to the enjoyment of each one.
Mhm.
And that's what's important.
Yes.
And every one of them keeps getting better and better. I did
So
like the museum. I know, Josh, it wasn't your favorite, but I love that dinosaur that just went all the way through the thing. That was dope.
it was great. I loved it so much. There were some great details on the inside. The architectural aspect of it lacks the finer details of this. We see some the cross timber on the top, and then it's great.
So yeah, that is what we wanted to talk about in terms of January 1st, but there's one other thing we want to talk about. Don't click out of the video. Wait. Thank you for staying. To all of you that did subscribe, I think we're now up to 54 subscribers. Thank you so much. What's important is that we have to let you know something that you might not know. That for every one of our subscribers, if you let us know, you have to tell us. We don't know. It doesn't tell us who to reach out to. Follow us on Instagram, message us. Josh will run you through a couple options in terms of we let you choose a physical minifigure to add to our studio audience in Josh's Sig Fig version of our show. And what he's going to do is highlight each and every one we add to the show. I think he's up to number 28. And since we had a sudden surge, we're now up to 54. So be sure within the next year to look forward to bios of all of our new audience members. And more than likely, the studio is probably going to go under an expansion as well. And Josh will document that as he does do the expansion, because we do have to get some construction crews in there because it is quite a bit of construction. Might actually have to add a bathroom or two as well.
I'd appreciate that, especially if our episodes continue to run a little bit long. But what won't be a long episode is how we plan to bring this year to a close. Look for it coming out to celebrate this Christmas. We have a very special Blockcast. We'll call it spectacular.
Yeah, holiday spectacular.
Spectacular is taken. There's too many taculars.
We'll figure out something and make it really fun.
In the vein of all of the great holiday specials throughout all time, the Blockcast has our own. We are very excited to share it with you. You may not know it, but without giving anything at all away, this episode has a little bit of a sneak peek at what to expect. I'm not going to say any more than that. Just stay tuned. It's going to be absolutely worth a watch.
I can't say anything either, but I know it's not easy for me not to tell you. But stay tuned, subscribe, tell your friends. Josh, tell them what they need to do.
Oh, well, I think you did. I think they need to subscribe, comment, tell us what you like, tell us what you don't like, but most importantly, stay tuned for our season 2 next year. We look forward to doing this and so much more.
Yeah. So thank you so much. We really appreciate it. You've all been really wonderful. Tell us down below if you're watching this early what Lego sets you got for someone else. We won't tell them, but we're very interested. We want to see what people are liking. So, with that, thank you for watching. My name's Tom,
And I'm Josh.
and you have been watching the Blockcast.
We're Lego fans. Like,
Bye, everybody.
happy holidays.